Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Handy, the Android Authority App Guy, and welcome back to Android Apps Weekly. This is episode number 144, so let's get started. An app developer is being sued just for publishing something on the Google Play Store. The story goes that a patent troll is suing developer Austin Meyer simply for uploading his application to the Play Store because the patent troll apparently owns the patent for the idea of the Google Play Store. It would cost Meyer millions to go to trial and will likely have to settle, and that really sucks. App Annie released a report this week that suggests that people will spend $102 billion per year in apps and games by the year 2020. This looks at current trends where the industry has seen sustained growth over the last few years, and it's assumed that more growth is coming. That's good news for app and game developers, and that means it's good news for consumers as well. The rumor mill began circulating this week that Google is going to change their policies to let developers keep up to 85% of their subscription prices. This matches a similar initiative by Apple, except Google's change would take place immediately, whereas Apple requires developers to keep their subscriber for 1 year before they get the change. This will likely encourage more subscriptions moving forward, for better or for worse. Stitcher Radio, the popular podcast platform, was purchased this week for $4.5 million. The buyer, EW Scripps, already owns a podcasting advertising platform. The popular theory is that the acquisition was to create a service that allows for advertising and podcasts together instead of relying on advertising to go onto different networks. We'll see how that turns out in the coming months. As it turns out, ISIS does have active developers creating applications for ISIS members. Reports this week are that counterfeit applications are being distributed that are aimed to put malware on terrorist phones, likely to spy on them. In this hilariously ironic twist of fate, the terrorists are now worried that people are spying on them through their phones. I swear to God, you can't make this stuff up. For even more Android apps and games news, don't forget to check out this week's newsletter, which is linked in the video description below. We have a ton of information there that we didn't have time for here. If you're so inclined, you can also sign up for the newsletter using the form, which is in the written version, which is also linked in the video description below, and we'll send it to you every single Sunday. For even faster updates, don't forget to check out the Android Authority app. Okay folks, let's take a look at the apps and games that made a big splash this week. As usual, if you want to check out any of these apps or games for yourself, you can find those links in the video description below. Skater is a new game that allows you to skateboard using your fingers. The gameplay features a more or less empty skateboard with a pair of shoes on them, and your goal is to use your fingers to control the board's movements. It's not an altogether different idea than True Skate, but this one doesn't feature in-app purchases. There are a ton of boards, tricks, and plenty of locations to play around with. It does have a few bugs here and there, so do beware of those, but at least keep this one on your radar. Flamingo Beta is a new Twitter application that, unlike many third-party Twitter applications, wants to keep things simple. It features some very slick material design, and you can theme the application by choosing the various colors. You can also sign into multiple accounts and then individually theme each account, which is kind of awesome. It is in its early stages, which means there are bugs that need to be worked out, but it is a solid experience overall. Lifeline Whiteout is the latest in a very successful and highly rated franchise of text-based RPGs. This one takes place in a winter wasteland where you'll help a man survive, guide him to safety, and help him find his identity. The game is entirely text-based, which means it runs on virtually all devices and even features notifications when it's time for your next move. The Lifeline series has been highly regarded, and anyone interested in text-based RPGs should definitely check it out. Boomerang Notifications is a nifty little application that allows you to manage your notifications a little bit more than you can in the notification shade. I know, notification. It runs in the background, and you can get quick access to it from the notification shade if you want to. This one allows you to set up notifications to show up later, set reminders on when you need to deal with them, and you can choose which applications that Boomerang will show. It's something a little different, although its usefulness will depend on your specific needs. At the very least, it's completely free. Goat Simulator Waste of Space is the latest game in the Goat Simulator franchise. It features all of the kooky, goofy, and unbelievably unrealistic behavior as the prior games, except for this one takes place in space. You'll be able to headbutt people and take their money, build some fun stuff, and according to the developers, it features the largest map out of any Goat Simulator game ever. It's $4.99, which is a bit expensive, but there are also no in-app purchases. And that about does it for this video, folks. If you want to keep watching, I did a fun video about Paranoid Android's latest release that's worth checking out if you're interested. Don't forget to check out the written version so you can subscribe to the newsletter and keep it tuned to Android Authority, because we are your source for all things Android. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a wonderful day.